Hey guys, what's up? And today I'm going to be speaking about a few managerial changes which happened and things that have happened in the world of boxing. A lot of sports to talk about. Here are my thoughts. Subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get into this. So, Explosive Army. Let's start with the boxing as Caleb Plant lost to Canelo. It was a hell of a fight. Canelo is just an unreal boxer. That was just an unreal performance from Canelo Alvarez. What a fighter he is. Still undefeated. If you look at all the other weight classes and you take the weight out of the game, pound for pound, Canelo is in the top 5. He's an unbelievable boxer. It was just an amazing performance from Canelo. Then we have Saturday the 18th of December, Tommy Fury vs Jake Paul, which I'm so excited for. Recently, Jake Paul said he'll beat Tommy Fury. We're about to see. He's training well, so we're going to see. But also, Fury camp is going well. Tommy Fury has announced in a video that he will knock out Jake within 2 rounds, which is a big call to say, to knock out Jake within 2 rounds. But we're gonna find out. Because if he doesn't, 1 year he'll be named Tommy Fumbles. Gonna be very, very interesting to see. Can he do it within inside 2 rounds? That's a big call to make, but we're gonna find out. Then we move to football, where we have so many different things happening. First of all, we have Nuno Espirito Santos gets sacked at his own accord. Reason I say at his own accord is because at Wolves he played a 3 at the back. At Spurs he played a 4 at the back. It doesn't make sense. Spurs have a similar team to Wolves. Maybe the players are better, but in terms of the squad they got to play at 3 at the back is similar. Regulon can play 3 at the back. Doherty can play 3 at the back. They were linked with Conor Cody even though they didn't sign him. They were linked with Traore even though they didn't sign him. They got Ramirez played 3 at the back at Atalanta. You know, Emerson Royale works best in a 3 at the back. Regulon's best performance for Sevilla was at the 3 at the back. Højbjerg could do a shift in a 3 at the back formation as a two-man midfield. Davinson Sanchez's best performance came as a 3 at the back formation. Son and Kane would work even better because they'd play slightly closer to each other. It'd be unreal. But he didn't choose to go and buy Traore. He didn't choose to go and spend the cash to buy Conor Cody. He didn't choose to play a 3 at the back, or even try it. If he tried the 3 at the back, Spurs would have picked up a few more wins and Nuno wouldn't have got sacked. He got sacked because he went away from his tactics and philosophy due to the formation. He switched some of his tactics and philosophy around just to fit the 4 at the back that he wanted to play at Spurs, and it didn't work out. But Spurs surprised everyone when we think they're getting linked to the likes of Graham Potter. We think they're going to get a manager similar to the likes of Graham Potter and that level. They surprised us all with a free agent, Antonio Conte. Unbelievable stuff that has happened recently. Antonio Conte signs for Spurs. He's a great manager. He's a defensive manager, but he plays aggressive counter-attacking football. He plays a defensive, aggressive, counter-attacking football. And when Harry Kane finds form, and Son combines with Harry Kane under Conte, that attack will be frightening. Right now, Lucas Moura is doing well and is carrying Spurs' attack, but I feel like when all of those guys, Kane finds form, Son plays well, Son combines with Harry Kane, Lucas Moura's form, when all of that combines together with Conte's 3 at the back, oh my God, Spurs could be actually scary. But do I think they'll win a trophy? Conte only signs 18-month contracts. He never signs long-term contracts. So, do I think Spurs will win a trophy within 18 months? I don't think so. I don't think they'll win a trophy, but I think they will be better off in 18 months. They'll be much better in 18 months. I think Conte is that manager to get the weak players out and the players that are lazy, weak, aren't cutting it for Spurs anymore, like Dele Alli. Yes, Dele Alli and these type of players, and like Eric Dyer, they're good as squad players and they still have something to give. They could give another, like a Premier League mid-table side, like an Aston Villa or like a Leicester, or players or clubs like that, or even a club like Sevilla or something. They could give a mid-table club or a club challenging for at least Europa League, they could provide them something. So they're still decent players. But where Spurs want to get back in the Champions League and stuff like that, where Spurs want to get that higher level, they're not going to cut it for them anymore. So Antonio Conte is going to be that guy to get rid of these weak players. He's not going to back the board like other managers, not going to protect the board. He's going to say it as it is. And that's what Spurs need. A manager to say as it is, give the fans what they want, and get Spurs on the right track whilst building the strong squad. He'll revisit Inter Milan, pick up a few players. I feel like Brozovic could get bought, play next to Højbjerg, then play Tanguy and Dembele as a cam in the midfield three. You've got Skriniar who could come in the back line with Romero and Davinson Sanchez. A few players could get bought. You've got, if you do decide to sell Harry Kane in the summer, Lautaro Martinez could come in. Or you could do a little swap deal between Harry Kane and Lautaro Martinez. That could be better long term. Like, it could get interesting with who Conte could buy. But we will have to wait and see. Right now, Spurs aren't in the best of forms, but they will have to pick up that form. When they pick up that form, we will have to see how well Conte's Spurs really do. Because I feel like if they play really well, they could be scary. Then next, we have Dean Smith gets sacked after a poor run of form. He hasn't done the best with Aston Villa. It's understandable because they lost their star player in Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish was getting goals, getting assists, taking men on and creating those key passes. He was that link from that midfield to attack. He was that chief creator, the Aston Villa superstar. Now he's starting to pick up some form from City. So we'll have to wait and see. With that being said, Aston Villa went in negotiations for a manager, a risky manager in Steven Gerrard. The reason I say it's risky is because he's only had one job, and that's a job at Rangers. Yes, last season he did win the league and he does play some nice football, but it's a step up from Rangers in the Scottish League to mid-table Aston Villa in the Premier League, who are actually trying to challenge for a Europa League spot. With the players they got, they could definitely do it. But it'll be interesting to see. His first couple games, Steven Gerrard he played some nice football. But with these crop of players, it's going to be interesting to see, because his first couple games, he has Liverpool in there, he has City in there, Brighton. All these guys are on form. But he's got beatable sides like Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. He's got those are beatable teams. I definitely feel like if Dean Smith played Buendia on the right wing, Leon Bailey on the left wing more often, then maybe they could have picked up some form and he wouldn't have got sacked. But it's a tough task for those two to be played and then asking them to share Grealish's attack. What Grealish did for them, they both would have to share that responsibility. And to pick up that form right now, it'd be tough because they're getting used to playing in Aston Villa's side in the Premier League. But could this be a risk for Aston Villa? I feel like it could. But I feel like Aston Villa did well getting Steven Gerrard. That's a nice appointment. I really like it. Like the Conte Spurs. Gerrard, Aston Villa. Both of them are very good appointments. I'm going to be interested to see what these managers can do. For Steven Gerrard, it's just about getting more experience and bringing Aston Villa to a challenging level, challenging them to get to a Europa League spot. For Antonio Conte, is just about making Spurs stable and getting them back into the Champions League spot. And yeah, so guys, I also forgot to mention one more manager change. Steve Bruce getting sacked with new owners. It's incredible to see that Newcastle got bought for £300 million and now they're the richest club in England, over the likes of Man City, which is absolutely mind-boggling. A team that's going to be like almost relegated or a position to in the form of Newcastle, and they're getting taken over by some big investors, and now they're the richest club. It's like crazy. Anything can happen in the world of football. Then Steve Bruce gets sacked because the owners want like a better manager, and then they go and get Eddie Howe, a defensive manager. But the one reason I like Eddie Howe over Steve Bruce is like the thing like Roy Hodgson. It's like that, where they're decent managers, but they're defensive managers. But what they'll give the attack is they'll at least allow the attack to free roam and attack. I feel like it could be very nice to see Newcastle under Eddie Howe, and I feel like Eddie Howe could do really well with a club like Newcastle, especially buy some nice young players. Maybe he could revisit his old club, bringing the likes of David Brooks on the right wing. Maybe Philip Billing in the middle of the park to combine with Shelby. Or he could transform Isaac Hayden into that mould of Philip Billing playing the deep line playmaker, that role. It's going to be interesting to see how he does. And I like that appointment. And other than that, there was a lot of managerial changes, and I feel like Eddie Howe, with him taking over, like quite a few managers are going to play their first game on 20th of November. Literally next weekend we could see new managers take their first games, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Like I'm all for it. I'm all excited for it. So yeah, a lot has happened within the world of sport, football, boxing. We're just going to see what happens with these managers in the future. Other than that, those are my thoughts on everything. You can tell me your thoughts in the description below. Subscribe if you're new around here, and peace.